Hey everybody, Steve here, Safe Arms, and today we're at the Rocky Mountain shooting location as promised, where we're going to conduct a range test of the speed sights. Now, I already talked about the speed sights in the previous clips and how they differ from traditional sights we've seen in the past, and from what I'm looking at, these are going to be some really great sights, especially for those people that have never been around guns before, or even those of us who have and are starting to come into a little bit of eyesight problems. The one thing that I like about the speed sights so far is that they make sense. It looks like they're more finely tuned, that will give a little bit more accuracy when we get out onto the range, and that's something that's really good. They're also bright, and they have the tritium sights along in there, so they can also be used for nighttime or low light operations. Now, just to show you what they look like, I've got them on my Springfield XDM 9mm, and as you can see, the sights are pretty nice. It's got the two triangle sights in the rear, and again, if you look towards the front, you'll see the front sight has the blaze orange. There are going to be some really, really nice sights. Now, the reason I like that versus the traditional sights is because with traditional sights, if this is your rear sight and this is your front sight, what happens, you'll notice the distance between the two is usually like that. So there's a little bit of wiggle room in between. That wiggle room means that there's a little bit more inherent inaccuracy unless you really focus and concentrating on holding that still and being able to guesstimate that distance in between the front sight and those rear sights. So to make it more accurate, what the guys at Speed Sight did was able to eat up that little bit of play or distance in between that front sight and those rear sights to eat up that space, so that way you can line up those three diamonds a little bit more accurately and a little bit more precisely. It leaves a little bit of that slop out of the way, and that's what leads to greater accuracy out on the range. So anyway, what we're going to end up doing is taking and doing a test and showing you how accurate these are, and we'll probably even get some testimonies of the wife on how they like the speed sights as well. Because what we have to do is we have to make a product that will work for those of us that have a lot of experience in firearms, and then also for the beginners who have just started out with firearms. If we see a product or an idea or a technique that works with both the novices and the advanced shooters, then that's something I want to have in my tool bag of tricks. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get shooting. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and put the diamond center of mass on that green dot and fire around. That's pretty good. Now, what I like about this is that with the blaze orange front sight that we have, what you can end up actually doing is getting a real crisp, clear sight picture with this. Now, the other thing I like about this as well is that how you use these sights is actually you focus on that front sight, and as you bring it up, you just line it up and focus on that front sight. It seems like the diamonds in the back just kind of float, and then they just lock into the sides of the orange triangle or diamond in the front, and then that's when you click off that round. It just seems really a lot easier to use these sights compared to the traditional sights. Oh yeah. So anyway, that's what we end up having. Again, these speed sights are pretty nice, and as you can see, we can put some definite shots on target. The accuracy for these sights is really nice in the fact that what you see with those sights, and the closer it is to you in the viewfinder, you're going to see that little bit of difference in between the diamonds on the front and the back. But as you progressively go out to the distance of what you'd normally use as you extend and fire, you see that those diamonds perfectly line up, and that there's minimal distance in between those front and rear sights. So anyway, that's what I like about these speed sights. You can put shots accurately on target, and they seem to be really nice. So let's go ahead and do some clips and show you from the first person point of view how these sights work. Now, as I said earlier, it's very important to have good tools in your toolbox. Now, to be a good tool, in my opinion, it has to work with both novice shooters and advanced shooters. And that's what I think the speed sights are doing. They work with both those types of people and everywhere in between, especially for those of us whose eyesight is going a little bit bad, and we need that set-apart front sight to help us gain those accurate shots. Well, also today we have my lovely wife Kyung, and she's going to be shooting the speed sights, and we'll see what she thinks after she puts a few rounds downrange on target. So let's go ahead and get shooting. Okay, so there you have it. Kay ended up shooting the speed sights, and as you can see, she got some accurate shots on target. But what do you think?
I love it. I love it. It's very easier for me to get a side picture, and that orange diamond, it stands out really big, clear enough for me to shoot. I love it.
So compared to traditional sights versus the speed sights, which one do you like better?
Oh, definitely I love this one better. Easier, very easier for me to shoot. I love it.
And that's what I found out, that whether you're young or you're old, you'll find out that these speed sights are really accurate, and it's really easy to line up the diamonds. And again, they also come in tritium, which really works for low light conditions. So anyway, that's it. That's the range review for the speed sights. Take a look at some clips that we have next, and you can make a decision. The link is down below for their website, and we'll just take it from there. So anyway, take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next video.